Hey everybody, Buzz Miller, Wannabe Studios. We've all watched the same couple of videos in the last few weeks on YouTube, and I'm going to throw my hat into the ring, I guess. Maybe that's not the best way to put it. But apparently, nothing changes the sound of a guitar except for the pickup height, and the strings. Changing a tremolo doesn't make it any different. Neck joints, neck sizes, headstock masses, body woods, body design, body weight. Apparently none of that changes. Pickup positioning doesn't change. It's just the pickup, the height from the strings, and the strings. So I'm going to do my own little test. I used to be a test engineer, so I really kind of wanted to do this on a more global scale and a lot more controlled environment, but I'm not going to do that today. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep. I just rolled out of bed. This is stupid of me to even be doing this in the middle of the night, but decided I wanted to try it. Here's the test. I've got 3 guitars over here that all have super distortions that were purchased at about the same time. I can't trust a super distortion from '78 to be one from 2022, so we took 3 super distortions, bought about the same time. They're all 3 stuck in a guitar. We'll talk about the Petrucci in just a second. That's test number 1. Test number 2 is going to be Steve Specials. They're in almost identical guitars with just a single body shape change, one single little change. How are we going to do this? I'm going to take the back of my finger and I'm going to strum between the posts, between the poles of the bridge pickup. Then I'm going to let that decay a little bit. Then I'm going to take, I mic'd everything out from where a 27th fret would be on a Hamer Californian and put a mark. I am going to strum at the 27th fret. This has got 25 frets, this has got 21 and 24. So each one's a little different, but string-wise and spacing-wise from tremolo to nut, it's exactly the same. So 2 strokes over the bridge pickups, 2 strokes over the 27th fret, and I'm going to pluck an A at that 27th fret spot. That's it. I'm going to take you around the room, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to talk, you know what, we'll talk right now. I think it's a terrible crime that you would do an audio test and put it through an amplifier. Why do we own 7, 10, 15 different amps? Because none of them sound the same. Why do we always go back to these old cleans of the 60s and 70 amps? Well, because they had a sound that we loved and we want to go back to. Every amp has its own character. Don't color the sound of a guitar, especially when you're doing a test of what it sounds different from another one, with an amp that's going to color it in the same direction. No amps, no effects. I have no idea why you would put an effect on a guitar and say we're going to hear the tone coming out of the guitar different. Oh, quick, let me pile this on, this on, and this on. Okay, we're going to go straight into the board with 1 cable. 1 cable has 2 Nutrix ends and a Mogami in the middle, and I made it nice and short just for this test. We're going to plug from the guitar to the input, which is a board, straight into the computer, no plugins, no EQs, no nothing. We are going in completely bare, and we're going to watch 2 things. The output of the guitar. I've got an output meter, and we're going to be able to see, is one louder? Does one have more output? They shouldn't. They're all the same pickup height. Like I said, I don't mess with my Petrucci. The pickup heights on the Petrucci are what I set everything else to, because I don't mess with that guitar. I don't change pickups, change wiring, nothing. That is factory original. So I leave it there. All of them match that. The Petrucci has a treble knob. That is the one difference. None of these do and won't. I just kept the they call it a tone knob. That's a terribly used word. It's a treble knob because all it does is cut the treble out of the frequency. But keep the treble on 10. Should match these. Every one goes from the pickup to a 500K pot all the way up to an output. So we should eliminate as many variables in this test as we can without going crazy. I'd like to do it big someday, but right now at 3 in the morning I can't change much. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to take you around the room, show you the different guitars. We're going to have the 3 super distortions and then the 2 Steve Specials. Couple of strums, 1 pluck. We're going to watch the frequency output. Obviously, is one louder? Does one have a little different frequency or discrepancy in a certain frequency or peak at a different frequency? So we'll be able to watch as well as listen. Why? Because number one, we're listening through terrible computer speakers. I've got some pretty good computer speakers. They're still not like the real thing. Second, we're going through YouTube. They compress all of our audio down, and it's tough to hear the different little minute details. Before that, we've got all sorts of other issues of trying to get this file small enough to get it across the stream to your computer. So sometimes watching the frequencies is almost as good as hearing the frequencies. Again, I took some classes in college about genetics, and there are some genes, and double recessive genes are some of them, but recessive genes and double recessive genes that make it so I taste something that the person right next to me can't taste. Maybe that's what's in play. Maybe there's difference in the ear canals or the way we hear or whatever from one person to another person, that somebody can hear a difference and somebody can't. I think I hear a difference when I play that stupid Lynch over there. It sounds like no other guitar I've ever heard. It just sounds different. I think a lot of that is the fact that it's got a 6-pound body. I think it's 4 pounds heavier than every other guitar in this entire room, including a 78 Les Paul. So yeah, here we go. You along for the ride? Guitar number 1. This is a George Lynch model that I took out the pickups and put in a super distortion. This is a extra thick, stupidly heavy maple body on a maple neck with a rosewood board. This is an Ibanez style. I made it. It's out of mahogany. It has a few cutouts, but it's a lot lighter. But again, super distortion, Floyd Rose. This is an Ibanez Roadstar 2, super distortion, Floyd Rose. Again, super distortion at a kick. This is, I have no idea what body, and a maple neck with a rosewood board. So all these three should be identical. Now, don't let this second knob fool you. I don't do tone knobs. So this pickup goes directly to a 500K pot and out. That one goes 500K pot and out. This one goes 500K pot and out. The one variable we'll talk about in just a second. So we go to the next guitar. This is an Ibanez Voyager style in mahogany. Very thin maple neck, ebony board, stainless steel frets obviously, and a full floating, I think this is an Edge Pro 3 or something. Again, no tone knob, directly out to a 500K. Then we go over here, and we're going to see Mr. Petrucci. This is the wild card in the fact that it has a tone knob. Now, I don't call them tone knobs, I call them treble knobs. All of them are stuck to the back position only. And again, this is a fully floating Floyd trem, a maple body, or a maple neck, and a rosewood board. So we're not going to have a lot of variables, so let's go see if we hear a difference. Sometimes I like to play with what the sound wave looks like. You listen to the warble on the Roadstar 2 guitar, you hear the pluck real hard and then it dies real fast, but you also hear it warble. So when you pull this up and make it really loud, you see the difference. Now, with all the carbon fiber that I put in the Vi looking thing, you see the decay is a lot different. Now, maybe the sound isn't different, but the sustain and the decay and how quick the pop is and how quick it dies down and kind of stays a certain volume, where this one keeps the volume of the pluck a lot longer. Okay, so I'm a super nerd. I like to watch a strum and measure the output 20 seconds after a strum. I think a lot of the mass in a guitar helps sustain over a long period of time. So I was checking that in here, and that was going to lead to a 30-minute video. Nobody wants that. What we're looking at is two things. Number one, total output. Here is 0. This is total output. They've all got the same pickups, all got essentially the same wiring, so they should all be the same, but they're not. And then here is our hertz. So total output here across the top, and then we've got 20 over here and 15,000 over here. So we're going to see the majority of our guitar frequencies right in here. So let's fire it up and take a look. Okay, so we live in a world that the only thing is real is criticism, and the only thing that can't be criticized is a critic. So I'm not even going to tell you what I think I heard or what I think I saw. I'm just going to let it be up to you. I gave you as clean and as clear a signal path to your ear as I could. Now, obviously the compression of this or that to get it down to the size of a YouTube video, that's why I tried to make the video a little smaller so I could keep it a little larger in the format. But I tried to get as clean, as clear. I tried to strum the patterns as consistent as I could. Maybe you didn't hear a difference. Maybe you didn't see a difference. Maybe the wood, the body style, the mass, the tremolo style, maybe there is no difference. Maybe when you pluck the A on my homemade red guitar and you pluck the A on the Ibanez Roadstar 2, maybe you didn't hear a difference between the one that tapered down real soft and the one that tried to warble. Maybe you didn't, maybe you don't, and I guess that's really a lot of the problem of our society. We think because we hear one thing that everybody else hears the same thing. Maybe I hear things that you don't. Maybe you hear things that I don't. So I'm not going to tell you what you heard. I'm not even going to tell you what I think I heard. Maybe it's crazy, but not very many people watch my videos anyway. So we're all good, baby. Hey, this is Buzz Miller of Wannabe Studios saying, even if wood does or doesn't make a difference, let's keep on playing guitar and let's keep on rocking.